Welcome to SYC Saturdays. This week we talk about bodies, we talk about sandwiches, we talk about why do people call rock, paper, scissors Rochambeau.
So our bodies are pretty important. You know, we use our bodies to do all sorts of things throughout the day. Brush our teeth, go throughout our day and exercise, or just maybe sit around and play video games and eat a bunch of food all day long, you know, or whatever. But Christ actually calls us his body. He says that we are the body of Christ. And so I believe that he looks at us as pretty important.
Well, Matt, sassy comments aside there. We have one of the scariest illustrations that I have ever been a part of, and, well, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I almost died. Not being dramatic here, the end of my life was nigh, and
Yeah, it was.
was it not nigh?
It was
nigh.
I almost fell on my thigh.
You know, let's. That was good, Matt.
Oh gosh, Gabe, no.
All right. All right, this week's demonstration is to show that as a church, when we work together, we can do just about anything.
Like make sandwiches. We're about to do that right now. Okay, we're good. No, so one, two. Are we actually making a sandwich?
Yeah, go. Okay. What's next? What do you do next? Meat?
No, let's do this right here. Because it's closer. Are we supposed to bring our plate with us? Yeah.
Okay.
You're gonna do
I'll do the much meat.
Oh gosh, don't do anything. Oh gosh.
That's good. Okay. Grab it. So we're gonna roll another steak.
Okay, let's do sideways.
Yeah. Meat next. This is good.
Okay. Alright, here we go. Want some meat? Oh, forgot this stuff. I gotta get that back. Hold on, I gotta get that back in there. There we go. Oh. Close back up. Oh, the plate's broken. The plate is broken. How are we supposed to go around?
Chop the meat.
No, we didn't.
I chopped the meat around.
Okay, let's get it on the table, please. Let's get it on the table. Okay. Somehow we're getting that. Somehow.
We just gotta grab that from the table.
Somehow we're getting that.
Okay, go to the table. Go to the
No,
table.
we're going
Go to
for
the
this.
original.
We're going
We can't get it. We can't. There's no way.
Lean over.
There's no, Matt, there's no way. We gotta get back to the other bread.
Let's try it.
Oh, no.
I'm so afraid of falling on my face. I'm very sure that. That's all I need. One piece of bread. Oh no! I'm turning this way.
Okay, here. No, grab a. Ooh, okay, cheese.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again.
My leg is shaking.
Sorry.
Okay, there we go.
You're good.
Okay.
That.
Oh, it's gross.
Why is it so gross?
Oh.
Okay. Okay, good job.
Okay, grab that. Yeah, that's good. Oh! But that's not enough lettuce. We need more lettuce. That's a Sammy. Okay, that. Okay, we keep probably
Take a bite.
take a bite.
Okay, me first. Okay. Whenever eating any, there you go.
I hate mustard.
No, you can get it out. You can get it out. That's why I got it. That's why I got it. Okay. That's pretty good, actually.
Well, that was a lot of fun and kind of awkward.
I would not describe that as fun at all. Horrifying, perhaps. I saw my life flash before my eyes,
Yeah.
and it really wasn't that long, and it was mostly TV. So
Well, 19 years though. I mean, that's not
I'm 20,
horrible.
Matt. You don't even know.
Oh,
how old
that's
I am?
20. That's true. That's right.
What was the thought in your head when I dropped that bread and you thought that we were going to be able to turn our torsos 90 degrees to our legs to pick up that piece of bread?
It was a pretty cool experience. You know, pretty cool.
If a near-death experience is a cool experience, then yeah.
Yeah. And you ate some mustard. But you like mustard.
Hate mustard. Mustard is one of the only things that come close to being as gross as not chopped onions.
Okay, well, I can roll with that. I don't like onions either, but.
And you may have noticed, I was not light on the mustard.
No, you weren't. You probably didn't know you were going to take as many bites.
I didn't realize that we were had to eat the sandwich at the end, so that was a problem. But I think that did a great job of showing that as a church,
Yeah.
when we tape our bodies together, we can do anything.
Anything. We can
do
really
anything.
can.
But in all seriousness, Paul tells us that we're all a part of Christ's body and that we all have different roles to play. That doesn't mean that we're all like can only do one thing or the other, but we each do have a role to play in the church. And whether that is telling stories to kids in Alive, or if it's
Playing video games.
playing video games,
Gotta,
maybe there's some kind of connection there.
Yeah, there's some connection.
You just want to make me feel better about how I spend my free time.
No.
But maybe you spend your time in the mission field if you think that that's where your calling is. We all have different roles to play, and they're all equally important in the church as a whole.
Yeah. But it's not just about gifts. It's about being a part of a group of people that love God and they believe a lot of the same things you do.
Right, and that's why we have ministries like Static and Alive, where high schoolers can make friends that are going to encourage them and build them up, instead of what often happens in life where we feel discouraged and brought down. We need a place where we can relax, reset, and recharge. And the church is a great place for that. If you aren't in Orlando, I encourage you to find a church near you with similar ministries. But if you are in Orlando, then we have Squad Wars coming up, and it is on a date that will be in either of my hands. And after that is done, we will see you next week.